And Arkansas should have had a pick. They should have made the extra point. No excuse there. Fumbled on a field goal. They just had some bad mishaps. Arkansas really should have been winning at halftime, and I'm not sure they've just been lucky. And if Alabama does lose tonight, then yeah, they're definitely out of the top 15. I would consider them going 20 or something. It's going to be close. They have the ball right now, so 5 minutes left to go.
I'm thinking Arkansas is going to pull it off.
Alabama has the ball with 5 minutes left
on this drive.
That's usually an ideal situation, but I don't know if Arkansas has enough offense to pull this one off. Alabama's
defense won an
SEC
game. I think they said 2 years. Something weird.
Well, we'll see how that one turns out.
It's crazy how just a couple years ago they were one of the best teams in the SEC when they had Ryan Mallett, and now they can't win a game in the SEC. I don't see them pulling this one out. Alabama late game situation at the ball, and Arkansas is not going to get the ball with good field position if they get it back. I think Alabama should hold on this one.
And where's Ryan Mallett now? He's backing up Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but he'll be starting next year.
You think?
Yep.
All right,
he'll be starting this year.
We'll see about that too. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Well, I'm not going to say he's the best quarterback in the AFC South because I'm not that much of an idiot. But he's actually he's looking decent this year. All right, so we're gonna
fantastic on Thursday. I'll give it to him. Yeah, he really shredded the Colts defense. Good job.
All right, so we're gonna a lot of losses here. So I'm gonna say who's gonna jump higher. We have outside of the top 10. We have Oklahoma, who beat Texas barely. We have Oregon, who beat UCLA, and then Georgia, who shut out Missouri. Who's gonna jump the highest? You think?
I think that it's probably going to be Oregon.
I think Oregon, yeah.
They beat a ranked team. UCLA lost last week to. They had a bad loss last week, but they were all in basically the same spot. Oklahoma's one spot ahead of them. They beat a bad Texas team. Georgia beat, in my opinion, a bad Missouri team, a team that never should have been ranked. So they'll definitely stay ahead of Georgia, and especially voters are going to be hesitant to put a big jump on Georgia without Todd Gurley, not knowing his status. And Oregon having that win over a top 20 team is certainly going to vault them more than
all right. I definitely think all three of those teams crack the top 10 just because TCU's dropping out, Auburn's dropping out.
Auburn will stay in the top 10. Auburn is still higher still their one loss is of higher quality than all three of those teams. Oklahoma now, TCU now has a loss, so it's by far Auburn has the best loss. So
especially if Alabama loses.
I don't think Alabama's going to lose.
All right.
I don't see that happening.
So we're going to move on to our ridiculously early college playoff predictions. CB, we'll go with you. 4 teams.
4 teams: Mississippi State, Michigan State, Baylor, and Florida State.
Wow, Michigan State, you think?
I think they're going to run the table. They had one loss to a good Oregon team. They looked really well, like a really good team in that game. They're going to need some help, but I think Michigan State's a very good team. It's going to be hard for people to want to put them in, but I do personally think that they are a top 4 team. Again, they're certainly going to need some help. I think Notre Dame loses. I think Michigan State's a more quality team than Notre Dame. I think Alabama will lose again. Mississippi State or Ole Miss is going to lose in Auburn. I don't see all 3 of those teams making it. And Baylor and Florida State have easy paths to undefeated seasons as well, at least relatively so compared to other teams. So I said those 2 teams make it. I just think Mississippi State's the best team in the country, and I think Michigan State has a pretty easy path to winning out.
Well, as long as Florida State plays number 6 Notre Dame next week, so provided they can get past them, then they have Louisville, Virginia, Miami, Boston College, and Florida. That seems pretty easy to me.
And that's exactly why I think Notre Dame loses, because I think Florida State's better than Notre Dame, and I honestly don't think Notre Dame is top 10 or 15 program. Their quality wins are Stanford and USC, who, again, I don't think are that good. Stanford's ranked at 25th with a 3-2 record, but USC is not that good compared to what we know USC as. Stanford's not as good as they've been. And they've had close calls from Purdue. They almost lost to North Carolina this week. They had a close call from Stanford and USC. They have not beat any teams bad, with the exception of Michigan, who we know is a very poor team this year, losing now to Penn State. They lost last week to Rutgers. They lost to Utah. I believe it actually might have been Utah State, but I just don't think they're that good of a team. So I think Florida State should easily win.
All right, Snowball, what about yours?
Okay, my top 4, it's going to be Florida State. I think they'll still make it. Mississippi State over Ole Miss. Notre Dame and it's kind of down between Baylor and Michigan State, or Oklahoma, or Arizona.
Why don't you just put the whole top 25 in there?
Yeah, I'll go with Baylor for now. But
But you also include Michigan State and Arizona and TCU as well, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
Don't forget Stanford, Utah, Georgia Tech, Nebraska, East Carolina.
Yeah, you know what? Just okay.
Syracuse has a chance too, right?
Don't forget about West Texas A&M Tech State.
You know, let's go to the next segment.
Marshall.
I'm done. Next segment.
Well, hold on. I'm going to give my top 4. I have Mississippi State. I think we're all picking Mississippi State. I think Ole Miss gets in there. Florida State's going to have an easy road. And then kind of torn between Georgia and Oregon. So I'm going to give the homer nod to Georgia.
Three teams from the SEC are not getting in. That is not going to happen. I think
all right, so then we get...
Yeah.
What was that?
Snowball agrees that 3 teams from the SEC are not getting in.
Just too
All
much.
right, so I'll go Oregon then. Does that make you happy?
I don't agree with it, but sure, it makes me happier than having 3 SEC
All right,
teams.
Mississippi State over Ole Miss, Oregon over Florida State, Mississippi over Oregon. Any questions?
Mississippi State over Florida State. That's what I got.
Yeah, I don't think Florida State. They've had too easy of a road.
Really hasn't impressed me at all.
They've had too easy of a road, so I don't think they're gonna get past Oregon. So then we'll go to the hometown roundup real quick. Rutgers has a bye, so no real news there.
nothing
Snowball, I'm gonna let you take the Giants and the Jets.
Me?
Yep, you're
Okay.
Snowball.
Well, as you know, the Giants had a great win last week against the Falcons, beating them 30-20. We're down at one point, 20-10, and came all the way back to win. Andre Williams had a very good game. Eli had a great game. Although Beckham was his first touchdown of his career in his first ever game, playing the Eagles Sunday night. I don't know why our notes says Monday night, but it's actually Sunday night. Sunday night, be ready. It's a blackout there. I'm pumped. I think it's right now the game of the year so far. I'm not just saying it being a homer. I think it's true. Jets had an opposite result as the Giants did on Sunday. They lost 31-0. Shut out. Geno Smith looked terrible in the first half. 4 for 12, 27, with 27 passing yards and a pick. Rex Ryan was so disappointed he decided to put it in. Michael Vick really didn't do that much better. 8 for 19 with 47 yards. Really not that great. And the Jets, they got a tough competition this week, coming up with one of the arguably the best QB of all time in Peyton Manning, playing the Broncos. They are home, though, which could help them maybe a little bit, but they got to get down to QB. People are mad with Geno because supposedly he missed a meeting on Saturday night before the game, saying that he mixed up the times because he was not used to the West Coast time yet, which a lot of people don't believe. I certainly don't believe it. So, yeah, so it'll be interesting. So if the Jets lose this week, they could potentially be 1-5 and dig themselves a deep hole in, a wide open AFC East.
All right.
And that is really it for the hometown roundup.
Well, we still got hockey.
Oh,
So don't,
hockey.
you jumped the gun a little bit there. I'm gonna let CB.
Football, yes. Okay,
CB,
so
why don't you talk your Devils?
It was opening night on Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
Thursday.
So Devils, they did beat the Flyers 6-4. The Devils were at one point winning 3-0, and the Flyers came all the way back. Enrique had a goal and assist. Ryder had a goal and 2 assists. Yager had 2 assists. And he passed Steve Zerman for 6 all-time in points. Yager now, I think he's 41. What is Yager now?
42.
Old.
He's
40.
very old.
42. Rangers, they also won, beat Blue Jackets 3-2. And now they're playing against Blue Jackets again. Nash finally looks, maybe this is a good sign for Ranger fans. Nash, 2 goals and assists. Kreider had a goal and assist as well. It was a great day overall. In for the Jersey sport teams, Jersey, New York sports teams. There's also one, beat the Carolina Hurricanes 5-3. They're rematching right now at home. I don't know the score yet. Brad Nelson.
Tonight the Devils are up 5-1. Jelenosh, Merrick Sidliski, Damon Severson, the 19-year-old rookie, Martin Havlat, and Ryan Clough all have goals. Roberto Luongo got pulled in the second period, and Derek McKenzie had a goal for the Panthers to make it 5-1. So they have a big lead right now.
Here. Does anybody really care about the Islanders?
You know what? Let me take this one because I am disgusted talking about the Rangers. I am disgusted talking about what am I saying? The Devils. So I'll take the Islanders because they are no threat to my Penguins whatsoever. Although they did beat the Hurricanes 5-3. They do have a rematch now, and I do not know the score because I really don't care about the Islanders.
They're up 4-2 over Carolina.
Okay, they're up 4-2.
Rangers are down 3-1 to the Blue Jackets, though, so that's a good sign.
All right. The other night, Brock Nelson for the Islanders. He had 2 goals, 2 assists. He was the first star. Johnny Boychuk. I hope I'm saying that right. 1 goal, 2 assists. And Tavares, 3 assists. So those are your 3 stars for the Islanders. And while we're on hockey, I'm going to move over to the Homer statement of the week. It is my Pittsburgh Penguins. And our main guy, Sidney Crosby, the defending MVP winner. And this year's MVP winner. They did beat the Anaheim Ducks. It was Thursday. We beat them 6-4. Crosby had 2 goals. Then we had Hornquist score. We had Dupuis had a hat trick. Then we had Cormier, Sutter. It was just a great game. Again, Crosby's going to win at MVP. The Penguins are taking on the Maple Leafs right now. I believe that score is 5-1. And Crosby had at least 1 goal. I'm actually going to check on that. See who scored for the Penguins. We had Hornquist score again. Crosby, that was his 3rd goal on the season. Kunitz. Then we had Malkin and Sutter. So, great effort by the Penguins tonight. That'll definitely be a win. There's 11 minutes left in the 3rd period, but I don't see the Maple Leafs scoring 4 goals ever. So the Penguins, I said they would barely make the playoffs and probably not get too far after that, but I am completely changing my opinion there because, again, this is America, land of knee-jerk reactions. So the Penguins are winning the Cup. We lost way too much over the offseason. We had a Stanley Cup caliber team last year, but Dan Bylsma was holding us back. We probably should have won at least 2 cups in the past 5 years. But now we have Mike Johnston, and he's going to lead us to the promised land.
All right.
So,
Nick.
yeah.
I would just like to say Landon Collins had an interception for Alabama. It's basically sealed their will-be victory over Arkansas.
Oh, really? That's actually very disappointing, I'm not going to lie. I was so looking forward to taking down Alabama. And just get them out of the top 25. So we're going to move on to the bruh of the week. And that goes to my main man, Jonathan Papelbon. Shout out to any SBC Philly guys listening. Because J-Pap's all the way. He was the college game day guest picker today. He picked my Georgia Bulldogs. He picked Mississippi State Bulldogs. He picked Oregon. He picked Oklahoma. So he went 4 for 5. He picked TCU too, but we'll forget about that. It's not even about his picks, though. He came in rocking his maroon suit and his cigar, the shades, looking real clean. Jonathan Papelbon, what a morning. Ooh.